our 3.5 tonner. Not every single machine is going to be the same, but they're very similar. I'll walk through it as I do it. This is what the expectation is every morning from all our operating staff on all machines. So the first thing we do is we walk over to the machine. We make sure all our emergency stops are good. We open the, which should have been locked cap, engine cover. First thing, we check our filter. Give it a dust out, that's nice and clean. We put it back in. We put it back in, and we keep it back. The drip tray pointing down, so any moisture will come out our drip. Second thing we do is we check our engine oil. With a clean rag, we wipe the dipstick. We put the dipstick back in the hole, make sure it goes all the way down, hold it there for a second, pull it back up, and we check our oil, which is full. We put that back in. Third thing we do is we check our coolant levels. This coolant level has the coolant level bottle has a minimum and a maximum. This one's a bit low, which I'm going to top up. All right, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to leave that as it is, but that should be at maximum level when the engine's cold. Fourth thing we do is we go through the grill where the radiators are. We make sure they're clean of debris. If they've got debris on them, we blow them out. All right. Now we check the hydraulic oil level. Hydraulic oil level is full, which is good. Anywhere from halfway up the glass up is good when all the rams are down. We close everything back up. We secure it all. Secure it all. Obviously, on the bigger machines, they're going to be in different areas, but it's all basically the same. You still check the same things. We close it all back up. We make sure everything's secured. Now we walk around the machine. We unlock, open the machine up. On this particular machine, I pull my seat forward and I check my cabin filters. They're clean of debris, so then I put them back. Now, I've checked all my oils, I've checked my coolant levels, and I've checked my cabin filter. I now turn the ignition on, let my glow plugs do their job, let the pump fuel up, leave for a second with the ignition on. Now I start the machine and I leave that warming up. Whilst the machine's warming up, I pick up my grease gun and I start from the very beginning. So yes, the grease nipples are on every joint of every machine. I need you to go from the beginning and go to the end and grease every joint. So I'll start from here. I'll grease every joint until a little bit of grease comes out the joint. Then I'll go to my next one. Whilst I'm greasing up, I'm observing all the surrounding areas to make sure there's no wear, there's no damage, and there's no leaks. So I've greased this one, I've greased this one, now I'll grease this one. And again, until a little bit of grease comes out. Again, I'm looking over all the hoses, all the rams, all the guards, all the machine, making sure there's no damage anywhere, no wear, no signs of something that's gonna get damaged, and no signs of anything that's not supposed to be how it should be. Come over. I'll continue to grease. These ones that are on here, you won't actually see the grease come out. So if you give it a decent 10 pumps on each one, that should be more than sufficient each day. Alright. Then I'll do this one. Again, every single moving joint has a grease nipple. So there's that one. Then there's one here. Then there's one here, which comes from here. Again, I'm observing the whole machine to make sure there's no wear, there's no damage, there's nothing that looks out of place. I'm also looking for damage that's done by other people, so I can document that. Okay. Now I've greased this part, so I'll move on and I'll start on my rams. Whilst I'm greasing my ram, I'm observing if the rams are taking grease. If they're not, I'm putting it on my pre-start. Whilst I'm greasing, I've observed this bracket's bent, so I'll be putting that on my pre-start. I'm looking at all my hoses to see if there's any damage, deterioration or anything, or any leaks. I can't see anything so far other than that. I don't know how people bend that, but anyway. And I'm continuing. So whilst I'm doing this, I'm again observing everything around me. This particular machine has an instruction of every single grease point. I'd like you to disregard what that's telling you to grease, because I want these machines greased daily. Now, again, I'm continuing. I'm checking out my light. My light seems okay. I'm looking at my lights up there, my windows. I'm continuing forward. Again, I'm observing everything around me. No cracks around the pins. No excessive gaps in the pin area, so that means that they're wearing well. I'm looking inside. Yes, everything looks fine. I'm moving on to my next one. And I'm greasing. I'm looking around. I'm checking all my hoses in my dipper arm. It doesn't seem to be any of them wearing. There's no wear on any of the hoses. They're all protected. They're all secured. Now I'm going down. I'm greasing this one. I'm checking for any cracks on my joint of my dipper and my boom. I can't see anything, but I'm continuing to grease. And I'm continuing all the way down with the same process. I'm checking every single moving part to make sure there's no excessive wear, there's no excessive slop in them, and we all know what to look for. Now I'm continuing down. I'm greasing every point that I can with the machine. Obviously, once I get to these ones, I'm going to have to get in the machine and I'm going to have to move the bucket so I can access these ones. But all the ones that I can access, I'm accessing, and the whole time I'm accessing every single joint, I'm looking around. The grommets and spacers are still in there. My strong arm is good. Everything's good. No wear. Nothing looks out of place. My buckets seem okay. I'm walking around now, looking at my cutting edge. My cutting edge still seems to have a bit of meat on it. Everything looks okay. All my attachments are alright. That seems to be secured. And I've greased all the machine for argument's sake. Now I'm looking down here. I'm checking to make sure there's no leaks, no excessive leaks. There's nothing out of place. That's a little bit loose, so I might address that. I'm walking around. On the bigger machines, where the boom joins at the knuckle, there's a dipstick for the slew oil, which you need to check as well. So please check that before you start the machine. Now, for argument's sake, I've finished greasing the machine. I've observed everything. Everything seems to be okay. Everything seems to be in working order. I am now walking over. These tracks seem a little bit tight, but I'm going to say they're good for argument's sake, and they seem to be free of damage. There's no cracks in them. They seem to be okay. I'm looking at all my rollers. All my rollers seem to be in working order. Coming around this side. And I'm doing the same with this side. This track seems to be this is what I want for my track. That one's a little bit tight, but this is what I want. It's not too tight and it's not too loose. Now I'm looking for wear, I'm looking for excessive cracking or anything, which I don't see. I'm happy with the condition of this machine at the moment. My flashing light's flashing, everything seems to be working, my mirrors are in working order. I am now that the machine's warmed up and been running for a bit, I am now looking under the machine to see if there's any oil leaks or anything from where I started the machine. I can't see anything, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the cabin once more and I'm going to have a quick look. I can't see any oil leaks, I can't see anything that seems to be wrong. So I'm going to close it up now. I'm going to put my grease gun back in my toolbox. Now I'm going to look into the machine and I'm going to make sure it's clean. Seems clean to me, everything seems okay. I'm going to pick up my pre-start book. I'm going to take note of what this plant number is, which I'm going to put on my pre-start. Now I'm going to jump in the machine, because the machine is now warmed up and ready for use. I'm going to jump in the machine. I am going to pull my guard down. I'm going to lift this up a little bit and I'm going to check attachments one by one. So my controls, they all seem to be working well. They're all good. So now I'm going to come back out of the machine. I'm going to quickly have a look at the rest of my attachments. All my teeth are good. All my attachments seem okay. They've been packed up with the machine at the end of the day, so I'm happy. They're not scattered around the whole site. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my pre-start and I'm going to confirm everything that I've just checked. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the white and yellow copy. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to write Monday's date. So Monday was the second, today's the second. Monday was the first. So the 1st of the 8th, 23. Plant type, I'm going to write W, C, E, D, E, X, 8. That's our plant type. Now my hours will be on the instrumental panel. This particular machine has 1,226 hours. What I want you to do is, from now on, daily, instead of writing it here, the hours, we're going to write it here. So Tuesday, which is today, the machine has 1,226 hours, point whatever it is, and then I'm going to sign off on that. Now, I've noticed the bracket bent on the thing, so I'm going to put bent bracket. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tick everything off. So I know my filters were all clean. I know my coolant levels were okay, which we're going to do. I know my engine oil level is okay. I know my hydraulic oil level is okay. Alright. I know my track condition was good. I know my cabin controls are good. I know my air filter was clean. And so on and so forth. So my battery is good because the machine started. The boom raising and lowering, I checked. Brake function, this machine doesn't have a brake function. Flashing light, I checked that. Gauges and lights, checked. I haven't checked the lights, but I will, and I know they're okay. Horn. Horn is good. Hydraulic cylinder leaks, I checked that as I was greasing, if you remember. I know there's no leaks on any part, so there's no leaks. All right, hydraulic oil hoses leaks, I checked them as well, found no leaks, they're okay. All right, now if they're not okay, I want to cross in there and I want to comment down there. All right, engine oil leaks, I've checked that, there was no leaks. Lubrication points, I lubricated them myself, so I know they're all okay. If they're not okay, we write it there. Reverse alarm, I know from my travel alarm's okay, but you should be checking it daily. All right. And then we got handbrake. We don't have a handbrake. And then we got machine clean. Yes, the machine is clean, which they better be every single day. And then we got steering functions. Now we know that my steering function's okay because I jumped in the cab and I checked them. Okay, so I know everything's okay. Now, I've got a bent bracket here. So what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to take a photo of this with what I've written there, and then I'm going to go to the bracket, and I'm going to take a photo of that bracket and a little bit far away so we can diagnose where the area that you're talking about is. And then I'm going to put both of them on the group underneath my pre-start so Omar knows what bent bracket is. Now, all the machines are pretty similar. The cabin filters on the bigger machines will be in this area here, behind your door. Open them, clean them filters out daily, because that's what you're breathing in while you're working the machine. That's pretty much a pre-start. Now, if that took me all of about 5-10 minutes, if we can do that daily, this is what the company requires from us. Every machine has been supplied with rags, cleaning products, and dustpans, and etc., etc. If you do not have them, then it's the responsibility is yours to let Omar know to provide you with them. This is what I expect to see in a machine if I jump in it at any time of an afternoon or morning. Every afternoon I'd like you to spend 10 minutes cleaning the machine, dusting the floor, wiping it out, cleaning your windows so it's ready for the next day. I don't expect anyone to have to get in the machine that is putrid with dust all over the floor, you can't see out the windows, and crap all over it. If you drink coffee, do not put it in the holder and let it all spill down like this and then not clean it. That is unacceptable, all right? And if you drink soft drinks, I understand you put the bottles behind the seats and stuff during the course of the day whilst you're at work. At the end of your shift, pick them up, take them with you. We're not your mother. It's your responsibility to make sure you clean your machine.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.